Unmuting is a good way to. Hello and welcome to UK Versus. Everyone is watching World, so I expect no one to be here. But if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, hello and congratulations to X person who won Worlds. Currently, we have Justin Birch taking on George, and I'm just happy that my prediction of Mark Tyner being an issue came true. Uh, he was left off people's meta list, apart from a couple of people. He was left off the actual character breakdown until he was ceremoniously added in because there was actually a significant amount of it. And it was great to see people like Jacob and Mark playing themselves and doing really well. At one point, Jacob took on Mark. Matlock posted it on Discord. Jacob and Mark were facing off against each other as their characters, and I believe they ended on a tie. But usually, we don't stream during events. But I took last week off being ill. I'm taking next week off because I'm traveling to Sheffield for the pre-release. So it kind of makes sense that we do it now.
Yeah.
So in the time that we've not been here, we've had all the Godzilla set drop. We've had a bunch of stuff drop at Worlds, which will be all publicly live, hopefully on Tuesday. Tomorrow we should be getting Kevin Broberg free in the Redemption store. I think.
Hopefully, unless with the travel day from Worlds, they update it Tuesday like they sometimes do with holidays.
This week essentially.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because they release a new promo every set release as well, which means Kevin Broberg will be there for this week, and then next week Godzilla drops when they'll do a Godzilla promo, which means that, it'd be great if you could just add them both together.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because especially if they do something like the King of Fighters where there's new characters that aren't in the set,
I can't see.
I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, I am not a fan of putting mechanically unique cards behind there. Champ promos is a little bit more understandable, but I still hate it, especially seeing as they don't go out to stores. But if you want more on that, I have an entire rant called "I Still Hate the Redemption Store" because
Which I watched.
Yep, which a lot of people watched, and a lot of people had a lot of thoughts on, and a lot of people commented on without actually watching the video to see my points. Similar to quite a lot of videos I do where people are having to go at me for my Mark Tyner as a problem video because they didn't understand that my issue with Mark Tyner is not the abilities of the character themselves, it's that he has a response that ends turns, which is a negative play experience.
Yeah.
That's why, and we've had erratas immediately to Godzilla already, including the power of Space Godzilla no longer ending turns, which is the best errata, and I'm really glad that it happened before pre-releases.
Yeah, that was kind of hilarious.
I have played some practice games against Blake, and we played it as though the errata was in place, and it did make a huge difference. Without that, I would have lost. Huge news from Worlds, and the only real thing I'm disappointed I didn't go to Worlds for is Sean, who did the art for the alternate art characters for Godzilla Challenger, who did the alternate arts for Godzilla in this set, was at Worlds signing cards.
I was wondering who Sean was. Like, I kept seeing a bunch of cards signed, and I was like, I have no idea who this person is.
Well, if you watched UK Versus content, you'd have known that I do my artist videos, I've actually got an interview with Sean where he talks about how important the Godzilla sets and IP actually are to them, and how it ties into their childhood and their relationship with their parents. It's a whole thing, and I'm going to reach out to him for an interview about these cards because, as far as I know, each of these cards has had a lot of work and dedication and are tied to iconic moments throughout the last, 70 years of Godzilla?
Something like that?
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
Godzilla was 1950s?
1950,
I think 54 was the first one.
52.
52. I knew it
I
was in the
believe.
50s.
52, 54,
Also,
one of them?
if all I watched was UK versus content, I would not be able to catch up on the news of the day and know that we're a country at war now, which would make me a much happier person. But I still need to be informed and watch other stuff. I can't just watch UK versus
I
content.
mean, you're a country
That's a
that
full time job in and of itself.
you are a country that's been at war internally for quite a while. Just
Yeah,
be,
well now we're at war externally, sadly, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk
no.
about things that'll make me feel better about my
What I
existence.
did find ironic is we got a travel warning to say don't go to America. The week before Worlds, I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So we had the amazing arts drop, and we had our top 16 of Worlds. Unfortunately, no UK or Oceania presence there, as far as I'm aware. Possibly Oceania. I'm not too familiar with everyone that went, but UK topped around top 20. But big shout out to Cohen. Cohen was on an absolute rampage. Played Rodan in the day one open like minimal point invite when I think he finished fifth, and then took Rodan into day two. Ended up finishing 20th place, just above Mike Hardeman. I think he finishes 21st, 22nd. Absolutely amazing show by both those players. I saw Kai was also on Rodan. I saw Rocco was on Little Cat, Byakuyon. He's usually playing Big Cat, which is Byakko. So I call Byakuyon Little Cat. And great to see the UK representing, bringing amazing characters. I know Noah and Ben were playing Mikasa on day one, and unfortunately didn't quite get there, but had amazing games from what I know. And you can see Noah in some of the interviews that were going on as well, talking about how important it is to get practice and play the game. Absolutely amazing that we've got those players going out there, and for Cohen and Kai this being their first Worlds. I just want to say I'm really proud of them for getting out there, for doing really well, and I'm hoping they're having a lot of fun doing side events today. After that,
Absolutely.
let's talk about Kevin Broberg. Kevin Broberg, this is 3 dot, but we don't do dots anymore. So this is just Kevin Broberg. The only one at Worlds was in the Rochester CCG singles selling for $450 because Kevin didn't bring any ones.
Sounds like something Kevin would do. Wow, the stream is way delayed.
Yeah, I forgot to lower the latency, so we got Chaos, Death, Life, 8 hand size, 20 health. At the start of your end phase, discard a card, which we're seeing on a lot of 8-handers at the minute. Form Commit, reveal 5 cards from your hand. If all 5 cards share a keyword, build 1 card with printed difficulty 4 or less from your discard pile. Add another card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. If none of the reveal cards share a if none of the reveal cards share a printed difficulty, all checks get +1 or -1 until your next standby phase. Cards revealed this way remain revealed for the rest of the turn. So this means that you are running multiple difficulties and you want your foundations and attacks and everything all to have a similar keyword. Ranged weapon, Titan, Fury, Punch. We've got Kick foundations now apparently. So you reveal 5 cards. If they all have the same keyword, then you get to build a foundation you get to build a foundation or get a printed difficulty for free, and you get to secure your next check. If none of them have any matching difficulty, then you get to go all our checks for the rest until the beginning of my next turn. Until the start of my next turn, get +1 or -1. So both mine and yours. So what you're basically saying to your opponent is, I'm going to build, I'm going to commit. So I'm going to reveal, I'm going to commit, and say, all checks get -1. Cool. I'm going to build a bunch of low-cost foundations, or even just, secure my first check. I mean, I'm pretty happy to play this in the City Rampage and go, yeah, I'll building a 4 diff. I'll add a 6 check to the top of my deck. I'll play City Rampage because all our checks get -1, but all my checks get +2, so all my checks are getting +1. Cool, let's go.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing you can do on Chaos.
It is a mental load crushing card for sure.
Well, look who's on the card. This man is known for playing some of the most bonkers, convoluted, touch every card in your deck in 2 turns style of plays, to the point where I think the four checks cast, whenever they talk about different interactions, having a lot of interactions in a turn, they call it Brobergs per minute. How many Brobergs per minute
Update.
does your deck have?
Justin Birch lost in top 4 as we're streaming, and Godzilla moves on to the finals against Nagoriyuki.
Isn't this like the 5th Godzilla that Nago's having to face, like, today?
I mean, he's going to be well prepared for it then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's beaten a whole bunch of sorry, I'm getting messages from new students. He's been facing a bunch of Godzillas this weekend, from what I hear, and he's just been eating them all alive.
I mean, there's been a fair number of them.
Yeah, he's the king of the monsters for a reason. I dig this Broberg at first. Like, man, just looking at this character gives me a headache. I think it's the art, but holy crap. But
I need to get
I don't
Kevin...
like discarding a card at the.
I want to talk to
I
Kevin.
don't like discarding a card at the end of my turn, but
I mean, Mothra does it. It's something that we kind of have with 8-handers. But I mean,
I got burned by Splash Woman, man. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but you're also looking at this on a Chaos, Death, and Life. Death has some good abilities for when you discard a card.
True. But usually they're for during the end phase. Or during the
combat
enhanced
phase.
step.
Yeah.
But I do like that you don't have to reveal cards that all share a keyword. I mean, that just allows you to do the build thing. But if you're just looking for the check, boost, or hack, you can just say, hey, I'm just going to show you 5 random different difficulty cards and just play for the long inside straight.
I mean, if you can get both, it's a great way to go, because essentially you're getting to build anything, especially since that's any card that's 4 difficulty or less. So being able to add an asset, a backup, foundation, any other new card type we get, because it's future proofing itself. It's not doing a Nick Reagan kind of thing, but it was limited to enhances. You are just able to build anything in. So be able to build into a Ray. No, it doesn't share a symbol. Building a Ray Fillet, building a Mondo Gecko, building a Sean Gilmonger. Cool. I can secure my checks by minusing them. It's a very cool backup thing, and it's going to be very good in that aspect. Art wise, inside track. This is art that Kevin specifically asked for, and I'm gonna.
I believe it, but holy crap, it gives me a migraine.
Because I wanted to know if this was part of the brand new Universus IP we're getting in Rebel Frontier. I'm really excited to find out more about that on Tuesday. Not going to go into it because we don't know anything about it, other than it's a cyberpunk space cowboy inspired 80s, early 90s anime, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star kind of inspired art style.
I know a few things about it from people I had in the room, but they are not the most reliable narrators because they don't take notes or anything. But they did mention what they were, and I do have some thoughts on what this IP is for and about, and some things I wish that the company might do differently with it.
I hear that it's for printing promos, so it's primarily going to be for things like the backups from the regionals. It's going to be a way for them to reprint promos under like a neutral IP, which is something I put a theory on them doing out a few months back. But yeah, I'm not saying I influenced it, because this stuff takes years. Yeah.
What I've heard is they're going to do it similar to experience bundles, where there's going to be bundles of cards that are doing like reprints or reprints of popular cards or hard to get cards. And my thought is, don't do it like that. Just do like how Cryptozoic does the DC deck building, where you can get individual like promo cards for like $3, and just let me make my own experience bundle so I don't have to buy a bunch of stuff I don't need to get the cards that I do want.
Now, my only issue with that is if we end up in a walk the dog Borderlands experience bundle situation of we a card has 1 year of legality left, and we're printing experience bundles to make sure people have access to them, but it doesn't extend the legality of it. So
Yeah, that is what I've heard is gonna be the the go the goings on,
yeah.
and that's why I'm like, I don't want to buy a bundle of 10 cards if I only need three of them. I don't want to buy all these cards that are just gonna rotate. Just let me
Now,
buy the three.
do you know what would be really cool if they did? Which I think is a much better way to utilize this. Again, we're just spitballing here. We don't know if this is exact, but rather than focusing on standard hard to get a hold of cards, if we saw experience bundles for Black Samba, Trinity Geyser, Neomax cards that we
Oh,
saw.
Coffee Samba. I was like, what the
Coffee
hell's
Samba.
Black Samba?
Sorry, yeah, I was thinking Black Mamba and Coffee Samba, and
I
mixed
mean,
together.
yeah, that's exactly what I thought you said too. I was like, Black Mamba, Samba. Does he mean Coffee Samba?
Yeah, so Coffee
But yes,
Samba, Trinity Geyser.
I would adore some blank IP retro reprints for
Especially,
like that would be so freaking cool.
especially in the say 20th anniversary.
Yeah, the 20th year. I could
Yeah,
definitely see that.
we
I
get
mean,
some cool,
2025 was supposed to be the year of retro, but things take time.
get some
I will give you
cool,
grace.
get some cool reprints of the previous character cards, so we can get updated out using this new thing. I think,
And this would be a really cool, well, not for characters, but this would be a really cool way to deal with erratas,
yeah,
because what they used to do is they used to reprint the like when Twinkle Murdoch got banned and she got re-released with an errata, they sent er, copies of those erratas to stores to give out for free. So if they
uh,
had to errata something like say Sweeping Daggers and they errated it, this IP would be a cool way to reintroduce that card as an errata so we have access to the most recent
yeah, I
printing.
think they did it with Kirishima 1 or 2. They actually sent more.
Kirishima 1.
Yeah, they actually sent more cards out. But yeah, exactly. Reprinting of those cards. A great way to utilize things like Heidi. We've got this gritty 80s 90s style. If we could get Heidi with brand new mechs. I think
We don't need to bring her back.
no,
We
but
don't need to.
it'd be a way to make this cool concept of a character more accessible for
Oh,
for
you're
players.
talking are you talking about putting them in like standard this way
No, no,
or
no.
just as retro?
I'm on about using them because they don't extend the legality of them. So,
Okay. Cool. I was like,
so
no, we don't
no,
need Heidi back. No.
like the City of Wolves T-shirt, which said, yeah, the Rock Howard has been reprinted. He's in retro, but he's not in standard. Like that's cool. If we could get
Yeah.
Trinity Geyser or Tech Sphere or like any of these really hard,
Anything from Neomax.
yeah, Neomax cards, which you had to be destroyed, so they're going to be hard to get a hold
Give
of.
give me an errata for Chin. I don't know how you make that card fair, but do it for me. Do it for the Hermit.
But again, like these, like they did for Yu Hakusho, we got the Tagora Brothers, which was a $25 card at the time, which was hard to come by, which they reprinted like $2. Uh, put out one for Revoke, for Bang, for any of the
Revoke had a billion printings too. They loved that and Templar. They loved
yeah,
reprinting those cards.
but they're still hard to get a hold of for say the Spanish players or the players down in Chile
or even people here in the U.S. because it's so hard to find those products. Even Rochester sells out of everything real quick.
They've just had a Belgium free play event that had 3 players turn up. So this UVS plan of chucking events at people and watching them see players turn up is kind of working. And you can go over there and go, yeah, you can get hold of Revoke, Bang, Textsphere, Templar with these bundles would be really cool. And I do kind of want to head out to France or Portugal or Belgium to check out one of these LCs. Kind of by
Man, I would adore that, but I I can't afford to travel. I wish.
My inner Justin Butch is going. That's such a free world invite. Just rock up.
Yeah.
Just rock up with Mark Tyner to people that one don't have English as their first language and two have been playing the game like 4 weeks and go, let's have some fun.
Don't be rude.
I'm British. It's what we do to the Europeans, especially the
It's
French.
what you do to the rest of the world. You just walk around and stomp on people's dreams.
But yeah, I think this is really cool, Kevin Broberg. We now have all up-to-date characters. Whoever wins out of the characters today, the live streams were really interesting this time. For me, it's been a bit up and down. I know some people have been really hyped on it. The deck lists and like the commentary beforehand and being able to judge it has been really cool. I think that's one of the benefits of pre-recording the games before putting them out. But I'm not a fan of that. I like to feel like I'm live in the action. This is my first time not being at Worlds, so it's been like a eye-opening experience. But hey, I'm not the producer, so whatever they're doing, I'm sure that this is just a sample of what's to come over the course of the year.
True, and apparently one of my guys who's there, well, this is about 10 minutes ago, said there's a special announcement coming up.
Ooh.
Probably right before the final match. He's in my group chat.
Well, you can keep us informed with that, but like I said, most people are probably going to watch
anyone informed of anything.
But I mean,
I'm currently messaging stores about the pre-releases, trying to get information for my newer players.
But yeah, I mean, that's one of the really cool things is that we're getting more information. They dropped information about Tekken. They dropped the deck boxes for Tekken, which is something I brought up in Discord because this time last year we knew about TMNT all the way into August. And this year we don't know anything about Tekken at this point. We don't know anything about Fairy Tail. But that information dropped at Worlds, and it's a great way to do it. It's a great way to have people kind of coming in on the stream, coming into the events to get this information. It does make me a little bit sad that we're not going to have any regionals outside of the US so that we can have this. But hopefully the European celebration, if it's still happening, will be comparable to that.
Yeah. As much as I do think that that's a great thing to do, just drop this information at Worlds like on day one so people can get hyped. I do wish by now they'd at least released some articles or something so that I could help get the word out to people who weren't at Worlds, because I know during a lot of those announcements, people weren't allowed to record or take pictures, and it wasn't on stream, which, fair, but, I mean, it's kind of hard for us who aren't there to spread the word and get even more people hype.
But that's also kind of...
And then you risk us, like, passing around bad information, because maybe the person that we have in the room isn't listening to everything that's being said.
But I guess that's kind of the point as to like the soft reset Levi's doing, that Worlds is happening in November now rather than in January, so we can get the roadmap at Worlds, and then these articles can start coming out faster rather than like having to wait till March to get the special announcements. Because if my prediction's correct, Tekken will be coming out May, June-ish, so we're... could be that, but I could be completely wrong. But
I could see it in June because we're getting Godzilla in March. So if they're doing 3 boosters this year, one every 4 months, roughly.
I think we're going to get a surprise in the second half of the year. I think I put it out in a video. I think March for Godzilla, which is a bit weird, but I mean, Critical Role has set that precedent thanks to the 10-year anniversary. May, June for Tekken, and August for Fairy Tail, because that's when the 20th anniversary is. And then the second half, and then I expect some kind of 20th celebration set product for the second half of the year.
Yeah, that could be. And like we've already had the the Invincible Challenger series that was announced. So that'll probably come out later this year.
All we know officially is that there's precons. Now there is.
Well, I guess they could be starter decks too. But yeah. I just whenever I think precon, I think Challenger series now, because we don't get starter decks very much.
Well, we do if we're getting an Invincible set, which is another thing that has been teased at Worlds.
Yeah, for 2027 TM I heard it secondhand. Don't sue me.
This makes me sad because this means that there's even less chance of getting Critical Role in 2027, and I really want Critical Role. I want more Critical Role.
It could like the first thing for 2027. Calm down. There's still more UVS to be had.
Yeah, but I'm already really sad because Fresh Cut Grass is going to rotate this year, which means if we do get more Critical Role, Fresh Cut Grass is already rotated, which makes me sad.
But then you can play him in Critical Role Spotlight.
What is this?
Right?
Oh,
but it just looked like you were about to pass out on your desk.
No, so they've got. Oh, this is really cool. On the stream for Worlds, they've got the people that are there who have characters. They've got them holding their characters. So they have. So they have Kevin. They had Kevin Broberg with a couple of his characters. I don't see Garrett Brett with his 6 characters, which should have been funny. But anyway, let's get back to this.
Just one in between each hand.
I really want Garrett Brett to win a regionals and just get a 9 Titans throughout the ages with all
get
his
it back
characters.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Kevin's beard's getting a little out of control. Holy crap.
But anyway, one of the big things is we got the announcement, and this is something I tried to get for part of my reveal, is we got the Gigan PvE. When I found out I had Gigan, I did ask UBS, can I also do the PvE reveal as one of the biggest PvE supporters, and with Giga, and knowing Gigan is part of PvE, facing him at the summit, this is really cool. Now, I've already taken on Gigan. Myself, Stephen, and Tom took him on with. We had Happy Chaos. Oh, Stephen's gonna kill me.
I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it was live.
I had other things to. I had other things to catch up on.
I think the announcement is just Kevin's character.
Yeah, maybe. It looks even worse close up.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Kevin, but that part gives me.
I played Beauregard unsleeved, and we got told that there's going to be 3 PvE opportunities in Godzilla.
Gigan was the easy.
Gigan being the introductory one, carrying about 4 damage attacks. I did want to build Grog for this, so I could just go, cool, I'll take 2 and keep getting counters. That's going to be really cool. But I didn't have an all-out Grog, and I'm not. So then we're getting Godzilla, which should be next week. And then after that, we have Ghidorah, which Guile mentioned that in testing, he has still never beaten Ghidorah, which is really interesting.
Oh, no.
So I remember from the summit, Tim Free saying that the PvE that we got in Critical Heroes of Exandria, the PvE we got in the original Brywoods, people were cheesing it. And like we saw with Crasser and stuff, they felt strong, but standard decks took advantage of it. Standard decks were able to beat them quite hands down, and the bosses had to get quite lucky, and the players had to get quite lucky for them to lose. A player might lose, but the parties weren't losing. So Tim Free went, hold my beer, and then went and made these guys, with Gigan being the base one, and I 29 health Beauregard. Oh, Stephen was playing a third Callaway. 29 health Beauregard. Before the end of the first combat phase, I was on 8 health. Gigan is no joke. They're really hard to block because it's a 5 low for 4, a 6 high for 4, a 7 mid for 4. You cannot block Gigan in the early game. The only reason we were able to win is because I set up my damage reduction build with Dragon's Fortitude and Weapons Clash. So he was dealing 0 damage.
That's pretty good.
Godzilla is coming next. I think my only issue with this new round of PvE isn't even to do with the PvE. It's to do with the event promo. So there is a brand new promo on the Redemption Store, which is in the event section, which is where the Ford and Jester wedding promo were. And the Ford and Jester... Yeah. And
I don't pay attention to this stuff.
when you took on the Hag, when you beat the Wedding Crasher, you got a point, and that point got you both cards. You got Jester and Ford. Now, when you take part in a pre-release, you get one event point. That gets you one promo of this alternate art foundation. If you want to place it, you need to play 4 pre-releases. For someone like me, who is travelling 3.5 hours on train just to take part in a pre-release, I can't take part in 4. But do you know what would have been really cool? Take part in a pre-release and take on each of the PvE bosses. So Gigan, Ghidorah, and Godzilla, and get 4 points. Do the whole thing.
Oh, I remember seeing this art.
So take part in the pre-release, and then also play in your local store against the PvE bosses, and get event points. That would be really cool. Great way to farm it out, and it's a great because there's 3 PvE bosses and 1 pre-release. That gets you 4 points, which gets you a place at the promos. I think that's such a slam dunk. I don't know why they didn't do it.
Probably because it's such a slam dunk.
You can
Like
see,
no shade at the
Yeah.
UVS crew. No shade. I know they're doing their best, but
but you can
sometimes the obvious answer does get missed.
But you can see where I'm coming from with that, right? It's just you've got 3 PvE bosses that get progressively harder, and you've got the pre-release. And if you just go, cool, they're going to be up there for a month. For the players that don't have access to 4 pre-releases, take part in PvE, take on Gigan, take on Godzilla, take on Ghidorah, and if you win, or even just taking part, get an event point and trade those in for a playset. It works out so well, and even just stick a lifetime of 4 or 5 on there, so people can't just farm a load of them. Similar to what we do with everything else, and I think that's really cool. In terms of pre-release,
Yeah, I completely agree.
in terms
I've
of
got
pre-release,
2 pre-releases to do in the same day
I
because
did
one of my
look.
stores does not talk to anybody when it comes to scheduling.
I did look, and I contacted Card Goblin because I'm going to be on the. I'm getting the train up to Sheffield, so I contacted Card Goblin. I contacted a couple of stores in that area, and I was like, "Are you guys doing the Godzilla pre-release?" Card Goblin unfortunately aren't. A couple of other places are, and unfortunately they're on either the Friday when I can't get up there, or they're on the Sunday at the same time as Sheffield. So I'm going to just be doing Sheffield. So I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be bringing my brand new Shard Bugs demo kit, which I've got permission from Patriot to do some demos for. But who are you thinking for pre-release?
Man, I always get the worst luck, and I never pull a character I want to play. But if we're talking just terms of who I think is good, I absolutely think Anguirus and Godzilla Titan of Terror are probably 2 of the strongest that you'll see
Really?
sealed.
Angoras?
Yes.
Talk me through Angoras.
Well, he gives all of your 5 and higher difficulties 1 speed, 2 damage. There's some good damage reduction in the set, and anytime anyone takes damage, you get a power token. So he can try to make sure that games don't go too long, and that's always great when some people aren't paying attention to the reveals as closely as I am, and they have to sit there and read every card for 20 minutes. So Anguirus can definitely be a very solid, straightforward aggro. I think with characters like Batra or I don't want to see a single freaking Mothra at my pre-release because that's going to take forever to kill.
So my only issue with Anguirus, the Fierce Dragon, and it's in my pre-release prep, which we're coming up, so this is just a little thing of that, is you shouldn't be playing around your rares or ultra rares. You should be focusing on what the commons and uncommons are going to be. And Godzilla Titan of Terror can utilize your 5 diffs even if you see a few of them. At the common or uncommon level, there is only 25 diff attacks.
Well, Anguirus has 5 different greater.
Yeah, but so this is 5 diff or higher. There's only 20 in the entire set. So the chance of you seeing enough to make Anguirus impactful is very slim.
Well, yeah, for the static, but also just anytime any attack deals damage, getting a power token, that alone can end games pretty
I mean,
quickly.
I'd go with Hidara over that then, because when Hidara hits, you mill one and you get to burn them for that much.
Yeah, but there's a lot of low. I mean, there's like Hidora's stuff that does have the high block modifier, but you're also dealing with a lot of like some of the attacks have like ones or twos, and if you're having to play more attacks because it's a pre-release and you didn't draw
But you
very
have to play
well.
more attacks for the power tokens. I mean,
Not
if
not
you
necessarily because it's also if you take hits.
yeah, but if you want to go down the if you want to go down the best one for taking hits, that's Gigan, which says when you get hit, you get to filter a card from your hand, or just straight up draw a card in the late game.
True, but then I don't know. I feel weird playing a sealed character that wants me to remove cards.
Fair. I mean, Space Godzilla is an absolute beast, but we're not going to get into it because I got a video coming out on Friday where I go a bit more into it. And I said the name of the game is Power Tokens. I thought I'd leave mine up to chance. I've got a randomized box here, which has a chance to get Godzilla, Burning Godzilla, Mothra, Gigan, or Destroyer. And I thought
Nice.
those are all absolutely solid picks. So I'm gonna open this up on the stream because I'm too lazy to make I can possibly make a shot of it. And we get Burning Godzilla.
Nice. I was hoping you'd get Gigan for the lulls.
I was hoping to get Gigan and Mothra for the lols. Burning Godzilla suffers the same issue for me as we mentioned, is that he needs to remove cards from the top of the deck, which you don't want to do in sealed, given that you only got 40 cards minimum. And
Yeah.
then you also need
Although
to
another cool character that could be Jet Jaguar,
yes,
because you just build a whole bunch of stuff, and then all the deadlock is get power tokens.
I don't.
Everyone goes to deadlock and sealed. So
Yeah, I don't. I don't like the fact that my opponent gets to choose what I build in, mainly because you're going to be running high guard, low guard, and that's what Jaguar is always going to be picking.
yeah,
But yeah,
I did put high guard and low guard in every day zero build for this set to show off that we have new zero diffs.
but yeah, if you in terms of attacks, I have the best theory as to what to play for attacks, but. I'm really excited for the Godzilla pre-release. I haven't done a pre-release since I didn't.
Critical Role?
No, I didn't do TMNT because it got moved and I'd already paid for my hotel. AO Apocalypse, which technically was a pre-release because I got the packs at the summit, but that was the Friday, so it was released. Oh, I've not done one since 2024. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Although honestly, the only reason I go to pre-releases is to just get my hands on the new cards. I could give or take playing in the pre-releases.
Wow.
In fact, in one of the pre-releases, I am probably just gonna buy a kit to support the store and dip because they're holding it at 7 p.m. and I've got shit to do.
I'm
So
taking my streaming kit because I want to record / stream the events to support EU play in a year where we're not getting that much support. And I like playing in pre-releases because you get interactions, you get to see cards bouncing off each other that you don't see in standard. This is a time where we're going to get to see some of these characters play with attacks and foundations and actions that they're not going to get to play with in standard because of symbols, because of everything that's going on. And it's also a time before they hit standard so that we get to see their power level in a more controlled environment. Like, I don't think Rodan is getting played in sealed or in standard, but this will be a great showcase for like Mothra, who may not. He's going to be really cool, but control is such a hard aspect of this game. But in sealed, Mothra just goes, your first attack does nothing, and your next attack gets -2 speed. Let's see what are you gonna do about
I don't know, man. Mothra might be. Mothra's gonna be just insane to play against because that bug won't die.
that. Yeah. Same with Space Godzilla. It just goes, oh cool, your first
Yeah,
hit gets
like
-2.
I built the day zero not focusing on a lot of high level play, and I was like, this character won't die. This is awful.
Yeah, I like.
But I'm really excited to play the common Mothra. Was it Protector of Life? The common Mothra action.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to play that in Jacob Johnson. That is absolutely stupid.
There's a lot of very cool things. I think unpopular opinion. I don't think Godzilla is a powerful set. I think Godzilla is a very well designed set after a kind of drought of well designed products.
This is the most excited I've been for a set in a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, Guilty
I like what
Guilty
a lot of
Gear.
these cards do. I like what all these characters do. I'm really excited for interactions with older cards. There's a lot that tickles my brain meats in this set, and I am super excited.
Guilty Gear was hype, but it was quite small, and you could understand the hype behind it with how the cards interacted. TMNT people,
Yeah.
TMNT has the Crimson Rampage issue of individually there are cards in there that are quite powerful, but if you look at the set as a whole, it's not as strong as as people were expecting to be at the time.
It wasn't even really a power level thing for me. It's just a lot of the cards didn't excite me, except
uh,
for Fire now focusing on like removing cards from play and playing them from the removed. I thought that was interesting, but a lot of what TMNT was doing just didn't do it for me. Although I
uh,
did accidentally win my local tournament yesterday with Leonardo
oh,
because I think that character is bad and I wanted to play King Slam before it rotated. And I was like, oh, Leo plays with your next attack, so let me play King Slam Leonardo. I accidentally went undefeated, shit talking the character the entire time, and got some TMNT packs for winning because I wanted to pull a Wingnut Sabotage, and I pulled the 80s art Leonardo. I was like, well, this couldn't be more ironic.
but yeah, and then AOT people were just kind of done with AOT. I think AOT Apocalypse is the thing I've bought the least of in my entire time of playing this game. Uh, and Critical Role for me was the best set of 2025. And Godzilla follows that design philosophy. It has attuned and unattuned. It has very cool signature cards. It feels like a Heroes of Exandria modeled set, which I am.
There's a lot of neat build arounds.
Yes. And that's what we're kind of seeing here, where this is kind of improved because in Critical Heroes of Alexandria, the character's power level was very shaky. Like you had Pumat Soul being really good and Tyrion Darrington being really good. And then you had Jestilov or Traveler's Faithful being quite low down in power. So it was kind of like up and down, and you had like Scanlan and stuff which were mid range. But here, each of these characters has almost I don't want to put it to people a simplistic design that answers the questions it's posing on face. They all do what they want to do. They like Mothra says if an attack is blocked.
Wants to live.
Yeah, well, Mothra just says if an attack is blocked, next one gets +3 or -2 speed, and commit this attack is blocked. It's answering, it's providing its own minus speed on its face. Burning Godzilla goes, yeah, you mill and then your attacks get to more damage. They're all answering those questions. Godzilla says, yeah, spend one momentum. You got Space Godzilla has spend one momentum, get power tokens and +1 to your checks to play 5 discs. Oh, and if they pass the check that you're committing for, you get a momentum. You're like, oh, they all answer the question they're posing. It creates simple ways. It creates simple lines of play. Now they're showing the Godzilla chromes on on stream.
Yeah, they just showed the bracket for the finals, and yeah, aside from his top 16 match, which was Zeke Warchief, Nago is now facing his third Godzilla in a row.
It's been good to see the crumbs pulled. We've seen a Jet Jaguar pulled. We saw a King Ghidorah pulled. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Anna Margaret's been in control of the socials for Universus and has been doing an absolute job killing. When I saw that Anna was taking over, it was like, yeah, this is going to be a very well covered social event because Anna knows what she's doing in that situation.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But I'm really excited for Godzilla. I'm really excited to see all this new information we're going to be getting. It seems like next week is going to be an information heavy week. It's probably going to lead to me having to shuffle around a bunch of content because I've been quite far ahead and I'm still quite far ahead thanks to my 1K tier list. Uh,
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for all of those videos to be published so I can comment on each and every one of them why you're wrong.
I mean, that's absolutely fine. I mean, if you sign up to be a member, you can do that for a lot of them now.
Yeah, I could, but I also have things to do with my day.
I
I
mean,
just plan to listen to a couple of them at work to help me get through work every day. So
yeah, if you
that's mainly where I listen to
if
stuff.
you sign up to be a member, the I've got from the starts of the Legacy promos all the way up to Soul Calibur 3 Tower of Souls up on YouTube. So that's a good like 20 to 30 videos you can go and tell me how wrong I am on.
I am so glad that I was able to catch certain characters and certain sets like live to hear you just go, "What the fuck were they thinking?"
Oh,
Like when I told you, I was like, "Read Chin," because I don't think he's gonna show up because he's banned, and then you had him already. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna love this." And you're like, "What is this character, and how does this get printed?"
the illegal characters for me was the one that did it.
Yeah, well, Chin was banned for a reason, but holy crap, how did that make it out of playtesting?
Well, it's more the illegal characters, the ones that were never put into standard, like the Warhammer characters or the Mitsugi.
Oh,
Yeah, the Mitsuyugi
yeah.
that just goes, progressive difficulty is doubled. The fuck it is?
Yeah, it looks like finals is about to get underway, and
Yeah.
man, these two gentlemen look tired.
So we're not probably going to stay live too much longer so we can go watch the finals because it's really cool to see. Godzilla versus Nagoyuki was not on my list. However, when we did our pre-release prep, I did say the character that's going to win it is a fringe adjacent meta character that people said was powerful, but nobody had put the time into testing, and Nagoyuki fits that exactly. So if Nagoyuki wins, I'm technically gonna say yeah, it's the meta fringe characters that win worlds.
I mean, putting 4 damage on any attack is really strong. That's why Godzilla's good. He gives 3 damage to all his attacks. Naga's like, I'll do you one better, mate.
Well then, with power tokens, shouldn't we be hyping up Reign 3 because once he transforms, that's +5 onto everything.
That is true. And Reiner, I do think power tokens do power up Reiner with power tokens with tension. He's much easier to transform now.
Yeah, I think that's the video that's coming. I think did that video just come out? I think that video came out Friday.
That video came out already, yeah.
Yeah, my video came out Friday. I was like power token. I recorded that at the start when power tokens were released. So because when half term's coming up, because that's what we've just got back into week of after half term. I tried to record 2 weeks ahead so I can just focus on Flynn when he's off school.
Makes
But
sense.
no, I'm really excited for this. I think Godzilla is going to be meta impactful. I don't think things like the board wipe are going to see play, but there's a lot of cards in here. I'm really interested to see how pre-releases are going to go down because there's so many 2 checks and 1 checks that are going to be floating around that people may not be used to because we don't see them as much. Deadlock's back, which is cool. Breaker's back. We didn't get any Breaker in got in Guilty Game. I think there's 2 or 3 Breaker cards here. We've got some major stun abilities in Stun 3, which we didn't have. There's Powerful EX. People that came in with Guilty Gear. This is a whole brand new board game. This is 3 symbol characters, all 12 symbols represented among them. This is the set that
And for the most part, represented fairly.
now, this is the set that people have been asking for since AOT. I think Critical Role hit 10 or 11 symbols with only 1 or 2 cards.
10, because I think good and evil weren't in it.
Evil was on.
Evil had 1 card.
Yeah, so
and it was technically a reprint.
So
cards proper, I think it had, or no, it might have had 9. Was all in the set?
All was in the set.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure all was part. Well, double check, but let's. Heroes of Alexandria.
Because I know good and evil weren't in it for sure.
Uh, well, I don't like that it counts infinity when I look for evil. Violent Animus shot as evil, so that's 2 cards.
Okay, but there's no like characters that are evil.
No, but that's what I mean. So like Critical Role hit the things. I think there was no good cards in there. Earthbreaker is the only all card. So like the secret rares kind of filled in the blanks. There's no good cards, so it was all but I think it was everything but good was represented, which is why like good really struggled. And then Godzilla's kind of expanded that. We've got also improved on my theories right because at the beginning during last year I said Godzilla's gonna have all 12 symbols. They're all gonna be 3 symbol characters. I finally got one right, even if I did post a couple of weeks later a little retraction going, I was wrong. The life symbol is missing from.
I was about to say, except all 12 symbols are not in the Godzilla precons.
No, but yeah, that's my bad. I got ahead of it. But technically, I was correct when I said all 12 symbols are going to be in Godzilla. So that's a win.
Yes.
I only need a few.
I'll give it to you as a draw.
I only need a few wins before I become a reputable source of information and theories. That's all I need. All I need is a few wins.
Yeah, but if you're throwing so many theories at the wall, like one video a day, it might more become a broken clock situation.
That's fine. Oh, like I've got a theory coming out that I need to put the thumbnail stuff on. And what I think the Tekken thing is, what I like to think of is rather than a broken clock situation, is the more I study Universus, the more I study the way the sets are done and the information they do, the more I'm able to predict. Like with the All Might Deku versus Shigaraki All For One precon that's coming, I don't think we're going to see any enhancers. I think it's all going to be. I think
Blitzes.
I don't know if they're going to bring blitzes in. That's the thing. That's where I want to get into it. Is because my hero doesn't have blitzes, but my reasoning behind that was Spotlight. But Levi has said in his interview with Tam, Spotlight is kind of dead. It never got its time in the sun, and they're moving on to Hero 2, and they can justify giving My Hero Academia cards Blitz if they can go, well, they're going to interact in Hero 2, especially as My Hero as a set has what, a year left, and then it's just the precons?
Yes, because we're losing everything up through Jetburn, and we'll only have the Midoriya deck and Girl Power left.
Yes, and then we lose Girl Power at the end of this. We lose Girl Power
next year.
Yeah, lose Girl Power next year, and then we lose Midoriya. We lose Midoriya at the same time, yeah.
I don't remember when the. I mean, I could go to the.
Midoriya came out in October of 20.
Thing, and it has.
Midoriya came out in October 2024 with Origins of Power and the Tekken 8 Clash deck and the promos, which means also Devil Jin only has a year left. So rejoice.
Hey.
After November, there'll be no major events.
That's fine. We'll get a new Devil Jin and Tekken.
That's very true. People have been asking for Devil Jin for the reveals.
I don't have a horse in this race. The last Tekken game I played, I think, was Tekken 2 or Tekken 3. No, I played the one on PSP. It was like Tekken 6.
Is that the one where Liam Neeson's daughter is on the boat, or is that the one where Liam Neeson's daughter is in France?
I have no idea.
Which Tekken is that?
That would be Tekken 5.
Oh, take
the one where he meets Pamela Anderson and gets signed up for the Naked Gun.
That's a lot. I would love to see Tekken 8 and Liam Neeson and I think it's Barbed Wire for Pamela Anderson.
Oh, the Pamela Anderson movie. Yeah,
that's
Barbed Wire.
Barbed Wire.
Such a bad movie. Such a deep cut.
But what you were saying, because it was the American accent with the Tekken, I was like, Taken?
Tekken. I think it was Tekken 6 that was the last one I played because it was on PSP. Whatever one the Russian Sambo guy,
I
like
don't
Dragunov or
know.
whatever his name is.
I
It was his first game, and I was like, "This dude's scary. I want to play him."
I'd have
And
to
then I just got
consult.
bored of
I'd
it
have
because
to
I hated the
consult my
PSP.
Tekken expert, which would be Apple or Squire, because Apple played a lot of the original Jin Kazuma, which we were very disappointed when they didn't have a difficulty on Jin Kazuma because Jin Kazuma 1 is a character stacker, and the new Jin
Yeah,
Kazuma you can't character stack with him, which makes you really
yeah.
sad.
But if UVS Games is does watch these, I know some people watch them on times too. I guess if you're gonna give me a character, maybe the Russian Sambo guy, Dragunov, because that's the only character I can remember from Tekken that I've actually played.
Honestly, I'm good till Fairy Tail. We have so many content creators now. We have so many coming out more. We've got more people looking at getting into content that I want reveals to be a bit more like exclusive and like what we got with the Godzilla ones where we had double dipping and as cool as Brodekin and Response on Play are, there's a lot of content creators that could have had those reveals as well. So for me, I'm not invested in Tekken. I'm not the biggest one there, so I probably, unless I have a sudden change of heart, probably won't ask for a reveal or put my hat in the ring for reveals until Fairy Tail. Maybe uh, I'll jump in on like the group ones for Street Fighter and stuff, but Fairy Tail is Fairy Tail's the next big one where I'll be like, I want this character because I want to do cool things with this character because I love Fairy Tail and I've been talking with some people who love Fairy Tail about what mechanically we could see from that and what in the rules has been changed that might allow that, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that closer to
That's
time.
a theory video for another day.
There's a
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I said, I don't have a dog in this race when it comes to most
yeah
of the IPs that we have, but I'm always excited to see what's designed. So I will review or reveal absolutely what I'm a mercenary. I will reveal whatever you want me to, and I will do my best to break it down in the most concise way. I know I'm not the flashiest
yeah,
content creator. I don't do a lot of
but
editing or skits, but if you're like, hey, this is a simple character for new players, let's give it to the new player guy, or
yeah,
this is a complex character, let's give it to someone who can break it down easy for people to digest. I'm your man. Uh,
no, that makes a lot of sense.
but the only Tekken 8 character I know is the
Yeah,
Russian guy, and then like the bears, which are funny.
but
But
I mean, you could always do something like what Tam did, where he went and got everybody's reveals and he just went through them himself and broke them down, and that means that
I do something similar to that with my preview reviews, which I used to do with which I've only started doing just with all the characters. But I would go through like back when UVS games before they did content creators and they're like, hey, here's like 5 cards. I would wait until like 15 cards were done and I would do the first 15 cards going through each and every one. And then we had sets like Attack on Titan and that just wasn't happening. So I do preview breakdowns for the characters once they're all revealed and once they're up on Ultra so that the content creators can get their views.
no, that mate, yeah, like I said, that's really fair. Just I'm just thinking with things
Looks
like
like Nagoriyuki won game one.
damn, going fast. Uh, just for me, with the Godzilla stuff, it's such a universal IP, but with like the Guilty Gear one for me was a big like eye opening IP reveal wise. I was moving, so I wasn't putting out content, and it was one of those things that I hadn't been on the outside looking in on a while for reveals, and it kind of changed how I looked at them. And I think giving the reveals to the content creators that like put in the work and know the IPs and are willing to do it is really cool. But at the same time,
Yeah.
there's a lot of content creators who who do like the Tekken, who make Godzilla content, who make Tekken content, who make Guilty Gear content, should be doing the reveals. What we don't want is another kind of Yu Yu Hakusho situation. But I'm not gonna go. not going to linger on
Yeah,
that.
that was a little rough.
But it's just really it's one of the things that I like to see, and it's something that other card games have done before. They just go outside of their comfort zone of content creators, and they find people who love the IP enough to want to be involved in the expression of that love, especially with like the Godzilla. The art is so good, and the Godzilla fan base is so passionate.
Way more passionate than I would have given them credit for.
Oh,
Although I will say that I've just looked over your stream again. The alternate art of Hedora is Hedorable. I if I'm gonna play Hedora, I want an alternate art. I don't seek out alternates, but that motherfucker's too cute.
I like the Gigan. The Gigan to me is just like I'm a little guy.
Where?
It's before I think this is Gigan before they got like all the mechanical enhancements before they were like fully rebuilt
Yeah,
because they haven't got like
that makes sense.
the chains and the and all the attachments. Like it's the base form. But
Pure Gigan.
but if you look at the Chrome for Gigan, it's just got like a little green tongue and little green shoulder pads. It's like
He's glowing a little bit.
yeah,
I have seen that one.
I thought it was like he's just a little guy. He's just a silly little guy. If I play a Chrome
He's just a
Gigan,
silly little boy.
yeah, if you just play it against a Chrome Gigan, it's like he's just a silly little guy.
He's a little space guy.
I think honestly with
Who's
this
ultra rare has every keyword in the game for some reason.
with the second game starting, I think we should go watch the finals. Honestly, it's been great here. We'll be back to talk about pre-release, talk about the set. Cam now has TTS, so I probably should teach him how to use that and play some games.
Okay, so side note on that.
Yeah.
I do have TTS. I have been practicing a little bit, but it takes up so much room on my laptop that it chugs really hard, and it's not optimal at all, and it takes forever to load anything. So I'm looking at either upgrading my storage or my memory, or maybe even getting a new laptop for it. So that's why I haven't done anything or reached out to do any TTS stuff, because it is breaking my laptop to try to do anything on it. So I'm doing some research, and I'll get back to you.
Buy an external hard drive, download it all into the external hard drive, and then just plug it in when you're playing TTS.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm looking into. I've got a friend of mine who lives about 2 hours away who does a lot with technology. I'm gonna see if he has any external hard drives he can sell me for cheaper, because I know RAM's going up.
I need to upgrade my computer. It's 7 years old at this point now.
Yeah, that's about how old my laptop is. It's about 5 or 6 years old now.
Yeah, the first indication that I need to upgrade was I got a notification going, your computer's too old to upgrade to Windows 11. I went, that's cool, I don't want Windows 11. And then when I was editing the shard bug video that I did with the dev, my computer literally screamed at me to stop because it kept crashing DaVinci Resolve whilst I was editing. It took me, I think, 6 hours to edit that 40 minutes of video.
And this is why I don't edit, kids.
Oh, I mean, I put a lot of work into that video, and I'm really happy with it. And but then once it got past that, the second video went out really easily. But yeah, I mean, I can't. It's also if getting into the political side of it, it's a really good time if you go to upgrade your computer to do it now before the cost of CPUs
everything goes even
through
more
the
up.
sun because of AI.
Yeah, it's already climbing, especially here in the States. We're already having some issues, but that's why I'm going to try to buy a used external hard drive off my friend, see if he's got one that he can spare me.
I mean, that does not sum up the US in 2026 all in like general. United States of America 2026, we're having some issues.
I mean, we could have put that sign up in 2024, but all right, I mean, sure, yeah.
You could have put that sign up in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, some of us were in denial and drinking a lot more then, but
anyway,
this isn't a political show. This is where you come to forget about all this bullshit.
Yes, this is where we come to play.
We're gonna leave you now, so you can go back to thinking about this bullshit.
Yeah, this is where we come to play silly games, and also read about slugs on adventures with weapons. Uh, is the game already over? Some and Barrett on screen.
I think they're commenting about game 1.
Ah, okay.
Because last I saw, they were shuffling up for game 2, and then I think they cut to this. So I think they're doing like the playback or something. I don't think
I
this
mean,
is
Godzilla
entirely
can
live.
win that quickly, but yeah.
Well, last I saw, they were shuffling, and then I saw they were talking. So I'm not entirely sure.
So yeah, we're gonna go watch the world. We're gonna watch the world final of 2025. Really excited to see what's going on here. If you are going to be at pre-release, let us know what you played, how you did, what characters you picked. If you are playing at Cam's multiple pre-releases, make sure he plays in them all because you know it's good for him to get the practice in. And second of all, you'll kick his butt because he's getting after winning with Beauregard and after winning with Leonardo, his head's getting a little bit big.
I have never won a single pre-release. So come keep that trend alive.
But yeah, we're gonna start off that.
But and if you're interested in like the new Godzilla set and maybe you don't know where to start, my day 0 builds for each character started going live yesterday, and they will be updated one a day for the next 15 days. So it's beginner friendly basic builds for each character to show you where to get started with them.
And if you are looking for my tips and theories as to what to do at the pre-release, if you want to know a little bit more on what I with the characters I suggest, the strategy I suggest, attack zones, block zones, I've got a full video coming out where I go over my top picks for pre-release characters, my top picks for how to build your deck in terms of what attack zones and block zones you should be prioritizing. And I go into a little bit more in the numbers, such as the fact that there are 33 high attacks and 36 mid attacks in Godzilla, but only 17 low attacks. That can really impact.
Because according to Broberg, low attacks can't hurt you.
Yeah, but that is the kind of impactful information you should be aware of going into the pre-release, because that means you don't need to prioritize lows as much as a block zone, but you can prioritize them more as an attack zone because people will not be expecting them, especially if everyone goes and watches my video. But yes, we're going to sign off there. Game 2 is underway. Looks like Godzilla is going first again with a solid free build and a military airship. We'll see you all in 2 weeks, where I will be officially a year older and a year dumber.
Happy birthday!
My birthday's on the 12th, which is going to be fun because my son
I'm not going to remember.
My son also has a trip on there. You can just check it on Facebook. That's what everyone does, right? We don't
mean,
remember.
That's what I use Facebook for.
We don't remember each other's birthdays.
I forget my own birthday if it wasn't for Facebook.
But yeah, for Theories, News and More, win, lose, or draw, keep up Universus, and we'll see you at game night. Bye.
Peace.